Legacy learning management systems are built to track two things: completion checkmarks and module progression. That binary data tells you a user clicked through a course, but it says nothing about their actual competence. Relying on a completion percentage to gauge performance creates a blind spot for leadership. In a high-stakes environment, management needs to know exactly which behaviors are mastered and where a new hire is likely to struggle during their first live interaction. To bridge this gap, every piece of content is built to function as a networked sensor. We move away from static files and toward interactive components that pulse with data the moment they are engaged. Every input a user makes during a lesson is captured as granular telemetry, providing a continuous stream of operational evidence. This evidence is immediately packaged into a structured format and tagged with a right target schema definition. The metadata determines the packet's destination. Instead of landing in a generic database, the telemetry routes directly to specialized leadership services designed for immediate action. Sorting user telemetry at the point of origin creates an integrated loop between learning and daily operations. The foundational unit of this system is the lesson object, rendered inside the course player. This JSON schema defines how a lesson behaves. We focus specifically on the collects information boolean. When true, learner input follows the right target routing parameter. The JSON schema array directs data to destinations like toolbox for reusable artifacts or profile for user context. Operational parameters route directly to readiness tracking and assignment reviews. Finally, Keystone Memory personalizes future coaching. We call this decentralized telemetry. It ensures that data is structurally isolated based on its final utility before it ever hits the core database. Enforcing this routing taxonomy at the component level ensures that leadership surfaces only signals that are operationally relevant. One of those leadership surfaces is the onboarding dashboard, which tracks physical setup and dealership readiness. The moment a user context attaches to a dealership ID, the system generates a default onboarding checklist. During orientation, a manager might physically verify a task, like providing a phone list, and mark that item as completed in the dashboard. At the same time, the user completes an onboarding lesson. Their responses enter the system via the onboarding right target. If the manager's claim of completion contradicts the user's lesson input, the architecture does not overwrite the data. This data collision automatically generates an onboarding follow-up record. This record stays active until leadership resolves the discrepancy. This forces an investigation into the state of the user's readiness. Preserving these conflicting signals prevents the platform from reporting false readiness and exposes where the onboarding process is actually breaking down. To manage a team effectively, leadership needs to know exactly who requires attention at any moment. The Pulse surface is designed to answer this by aggregating signals from across the platform. These signals are asynchronous, coming from deal tracker updates, tracking minor goal slippage, or direct help requests. This diagram shows those distinct streams converging into the right target Pulse endpoint. The aggregation pipeline processes these signals and outputs a structured Pulse item with an assigned priority level. Every item is classified into an operational category, such as support needed or goal pressure. This model allows management to address subjective user states through a deterministic, prioritized workflow. When the system needs to verify a specific skill, it uses the isAssignmentTrue parameter. This turns a lesson into a hard progression gate. The resulting assignment review queue item remains in a waiting state until a manager opens it for review. We use a dual evaluation architecture for these gates. Keystone, the platform intelligence, provides the first assessment. Keystone reviews the assignment transcript against a strict checklist of required terminology and process steps, producing a precise numerical score. In parallel, a human reviewer provides a subjective score using a 0 to 100 slider. If a significant delta exists between these two scores, the system mandates a written justification from the reviewer. Programmatically identifying the discrepancy between machine logic and human subjectivity ensures that evaluation rigor remains consistent across the entire organization. All performance data eventually reaches the Keystone Memory endpoint, which stores granular metrics over time. This allows the system to apply the pattern signal principle, analyzing historical data for recurring failures. This chronological scatterplot shows isolated events, like a missed onboarding step or a support ping, clustering together as they repeat. When these clusters cross a specific threshold, the system draws a trend line and generates an active pattern-detected alert. This longitudinal analysis allows leadership to identify exactly where systemic management bottlenecks are hindering the team's progress. To understand the impact of this architecture, we look at how the routed telemetry is finally presented to the user. The layout follows a strict hierarchy. Dashboards are divided into reserved containers, which host modular widgets. Widgets are assigned based on context. The system filters what is visible based on the user's role, their dealership, and their permission state. While high-priority containers display the pulse and onboarding data management needs, invisible widgets work in the background to continuously gather telemetry. Every container must earn its space by serving the active workflow, ensuring the dashboard remains free of irrelevant information. This entire component-driven interface relies on the foundational logic of dynamic telemetry routing and target schemas. Decentralizing data collection and enforcing strict schema routing allows the platform to function as a precise, context-aware nerve center for the enterprise.